Happy Friday, Oasis. I know it's been some time since we did a regular week in review, but here we are after 3 weeks, I think, because we had the special conference editions over the last 3 weeks, and I did have a week where I was off. But before we get started, because we do have a lot to cover, I have a lot of notes written down. I honestly couldn't remember everything. Earlier today I was looking on X, and I saw one of the beloved community folks. Rakesh is back. So I want to give out a shout out to Rakesh. But yeah, let's dive right into it, and I would like to start off with blog articles, because our content team has pushed out so many quality blog articles, and I want to start off with the one called 5 verification methods for AI agents. And decentralized AI is quickly becoming a big part of Web3, but basically as machine-powered agents gain more control over decision-making and capital, the real question becomes, can we really trust them? And honestly, in this decentralized world, trust is something that needs to be verified, especially when it comes to AI models handling sensitive data or making big decisions. But thankfully, we do have a lot of tools that help with both trust and privacy. And the article basically highlights some of the main approaches, such as zero-knowledge proofs, optimistic verification, trusted execution environments, which we're really fond of, crypto economics, Oracle networks, FHE. So AI and blockchain are coming together, but there's still work to be done in terms of trust, and current solutions are promising, but the non-deterministic nature of AI makes it tricky to fully verify their actions. But we are working on supporting this feature with ROFL, which is a TML framework that combines privacy and verifiability for off-chain computations. Next up, we have a blog article dedicated to 0x2FA, which has recently received a grant from the foundation. And you might be familiar with them because they started as a proof of concept during ETHDAM this year during our hackathon, and as I said, now they received a grant from the foundation. And their solution focuses on generating and managing time-based one-time passcodes directly on Sapphire, and it uses our confidential computing features to store secret keys securely on chain. This solution makes 0x2FA more private and secure than traditional 2FA solutions such as Google Authenticator, basically reducing the risks of single points of failure. And while it's still in open beta and under development, it's now available for testing. Next up, we have a very interesting piece, which is the September 2024 engineering update. And of course, our engineering team had another productive month, and they rolled out several key updates and fixes across the network. So I did a quick recap of the most important ones. For the wallet and CLI section, they optimized on bug fixes, including a fix for a rare account import issue when there's an internet connection error, and they also improved the ledger error message formatting and made updates to the CLI to support non-interactive environments, making it easier for developers to automate tasks like adding networks or registering ROFL apps. In terms of network updates, new versions of Sapphire and Cypher were released, and the number of daily transactions on Sapphire mainnet rose to 46,000 per day. This was a peak, but it ranged between 22,000 and 46,000. Emerald transactions were down, but this is likely due to some dApps moving over to Sapphire. And there was an unexpected outage on September 25th due to a major upgrade. For the Oasis Nexus and Explorer updates, several features like improved staking, rewards tracking, and the ability to store metadata for encrypted transactions were added, and some UI improvements, including better support for non-native tokens and a new consensus events section. For the developer platform and paradigm update section, Of course, with the East Global Singapore Hackathon in mind, the team polished the ROFL framework and integrated a new tutorial for early adopters, which is really, really good. And they also made it easier for developers to test ROFL apps using a local net instance of Sapphire without needing specialized hardware. And the team made several improvements to Sapphire itself, including changes for end-to-end encryption and updated local Docker images. And last but not least, for the core platform updates, work continued on supporting Intel's TDX for future ROFL VMs, and they also implemented chirp-related fixes, enhanced Enclave RPC, and improved security around key management and encryption. But as always, I urge you to read the full article. Another interesting piece that was pushed by the content team is the essential role of confidential computing in Web3. And confidential computing, after all, is all about keeping data safe, especially when it's being processed. And traditionally, we've been good at protecting data when it's stored, like encryption, and or when it's being transferred using TLS, for example, but not when it's actually being used. And this is where confidential computing steps in, using TEs, basically to create secure isolated areas in a processor where sensitive data can be handled privately and securely. And TEs ensure that while your data is being processed, no one can tamper with it or see what's going on. Really well written article. I recommend you read the full article. And the latest one that was pushed out yesterday, I think, was is the runtime off-chain logic framework. Trustless computation is a big deal in Web3. This allows decentralized, verifiable record keeping without needing to rely on third parties. But with all this trustlessness, privacy is still a challenge, especially when it comes to smart contracts. And to solve that, we created Sapphire, a system that supports encrypted transactions and confidential smart contracts. Now, while the blockchain is trustless, it has limitations. That's where ROFL comes in, and ROFL is a framework that allows developers to run computations off-chain while keeping everything verifiable and private using TEs. So basically, in simple terms, it lets you run programs off-chain and still maintain all the blockchain benefits like transparency and security. And ROFL is especially useful for heavy computational tasks like AI workloads where it's basically impractical to do everything on-chain. So it allows AI training or inference to happen off-chain, and then results can be verified on-chain. But of course, this doesn't stop at AI. ROFL can be applied to finance, gaming, DID, and much more. And what's exciting is that ROFL makes it easier to interact with the APIs and handle multi-chain swaps, or even run decentralized AI agents with extra privacy protections. Basically, the possibilities are endless. So yeah, I really wish to applaud our content team because they've been pushing out a lot of content and only high quality content. All the articles are incredibly well written, and I think they managed to break down complex concepts, even though the articles are technical because that's the industry. They're easy reads and they're really easy to understand. But yeah, this sums up the blog part of the week in review. We do have some news from our ecosystem, and really good news because stablecoin swaps are now live on Sapphire because Thorn protocol has hit mainnet, so all the puzzle pieces are coming together. And of course the ST Rose stable swap pool is now live on Thorn protocol, and basically you can seamlessly swap between ST Rose and Rose. And since we're speaking about staked Rose, there's a tutorial out on how to start your liquid staking journey, and I'll link it to the video in the description. We also have a new lesson on the Academy, which is called Crypto and AI Regulation, what's it got to do with Oasis, and it examines the intersection of AI, crypto and regulation, basically highlighting the potential of Oasis as a solution for the challenges presented by the current regulation landscape. And now we arrive at the event section, and we had a lot of events and talks. And I want to start off with congratulating Matej. He had a very successful panel at the World Summit AI, focused on bringing user self-sovereignty back. And They explored the growing field of decentralized AI, as I said, highlighting the potential for user self-sovereignty in an increasingly AI-driven world. They argued that the current AI landscape is dominated by centralized entities like big companies, which I won't mention the names of. But basically, these companies control vast amounts of data and computational power, and this centralization poses significant risks to user privacy and autonomy, as demonstrated by data breaches and potential biases in AI algorithms. Really interesting talk. I urge you to listen to the entire speech. Marco joined Nimble AI on Binance Live this week, and they discussed the importance of confidential computing for privacy-focused blockchains, the role of AI in various industries, and the challenges and opportunities in decentralized AI. Alex, the head of marketing for Nimble, talked about their OpenAI platform, which aims to democratize AI development and empower developers to build AI agents for various applications, and I'll link it in the video. Then we had a lot of workshops and talks focused on our privacy for Web3 hackathon, which ends at the beginning of November. So Will was joined by Alejandro from 01 Labs, and they focused on 01 Labs and its mission to promote data governance and equitable AI benefits through its platform. Will again was joined by Shivang from Router Protocol, and they explained how to build on Oasis using Router Protocol, which is a cross-chain liquidity aggregator. And Shivank delved into a practical demonstration of deploying a smart contract that enables cross-chain communication between Oasis and Arbitrum. Then we had Harry, who joined Chic and Roger from Aether for a talk around decentralized AI infrastructure, and the discussion was focused on the current challenges of accessing powerful GPUs for AI development and gaming. And basically, Aether addresses these challenges by providing a platform that aggregates GPUs from various sources like data centers and enterprises, basically offering them at a lower cost than traditional hyperscalers like AWS. And a super interesting talk was the one focused on ROFL, and Marco was joined by our amazing director Yernikas, and they discuss ROFL, as I said, our framework that enables verifiable off-chain computation, and they explored the need for such a framework within the current Web3 environment, especially for AI and privacy-focused applications. They highlighted the features, how TEs are used, and they also discussed the future roadmap, expanding support for TDX and integrating with GPUs for secure AI inference. Then Will was joined by Nino from Apilon, and they discussed the benefits of using our confidential computing technology to enhance the user experience, and key themes include seamless wallet creation, enhanced security, and efficient onboarding through the use of passkeys. Then Matej was joined by Bogdan and Jamie from Ocean, and the workshop focused on the process of setting up and running an Ocean node. And Jamie and Bogdan delve into the architecture and functionality of Ocean nodes, highlighting its modular and scalable design, as well as integration with Sapphire and with Sapphire for enhanced security and privacy. They also demonstrated how to interact with the node using Ocean CLI, and they concluded with the discussion on leveraging Ocean node for hackathon projects, and emphasize on the platform's versatility for creating decentralized data marketplaces, compute to data applications, and other amazing solutions. And last but not least, our lovely Harry hosted the Sapphire technical workshop, and he went into the practical aspects of using Sapphire, showing how to deploy contracts on testnet using Hardhat, interact with contracts through encrypted transactions, and utilizing precompiles for functions like RNG and signing. And he also discussed OPL and emphasized the potential for TEs to revolutionize dApps by providing verifiable privacy and secure cross-chain interaction. Really useful workshop for developers that are looking to build on our network. But yeah, we're kind of done. Yeah, we did have a lot of events, and November will be even busier because we'll be in Bangkok, and DEF CON promises to be one of the, if not the best conference of the year. I know a lot of people are attending, and we'll be there joining the Super Intelligence Summit on November 11th with Ocean and the ASI Alliance. We'll be at DEF CON, of course. We'll have our own meetup, and we'll join the Global Hackathon. But of course, we'll have more details for that soon. But yeah, this was it for this week in review. I wish you guys have a great weekend and an amazing week ahead. See you next Friday. Cheers.